Morning, guys. This is the start of my um, new chapter of training. I would say there'll be more details to come. Going to be documenting different things over the next few months. But I want to do this video to put, you know, to sort of get across something, and it is why I have been natural for so long and why I chose to be natural. So I started training really seriously around about a decade ago. Started losing weight, took things seriously. Locked into the gym, I would say 10 years. So when I say locked in, I mean oriented my whole life around this goal, right? Eating a certain way, 6, 7 meals a day, training very rigorously and religiously. This is even like pre-competition. This is even before I thought I would even bother doing a competition. And then eventually it got to more of an obsession. So I did a photo shoot. And then I did another photo shoot. Then I did my first show. And then 2022, that was my first show. And then eventually I did another show. That was last year. And then I got on to coaching, and just love bodybuilding, strength, everything. Coaching, online coaching, nutrition, advice, everything. And why did I do it naturally? Well, when I first started, it's funny actually thinking about it now, because I remember there was this website. I was sitting in work, and I was kind of overweight at the time. I was probably 98, 100 kilo, over 100 kilo of fat. Now, right now I'm about 86 kilo of alright shape. And I remember my dad and my brother, right, used to tease me quite a bit about used to tease me about like being overweight. Now I was the type of guy that, if I would slag them off, we say slag in UK, it's a term to say if I was to, like, joke around with them or make fun of them, they would come back with, go upstairs and eat a bowl of ice cream, fatty. And I used to go upstairs and get really angry. But the anger was really, I used to love that, the fuel, because I used to pace up and down like a tiger, man. I used to pace up and down and go, fatty, I'll show you, I'm going to get in better shape than yous all. And that's the way I used to take things. Same thing with the guitar. People used to say, I bet you can't learn how to sweep, or you can't learn this. I would go away for 2 months and go, look at this. So I had that feel in me. So I started, and I remember going into this page one day on a website, and it was this body type, get the body type, get the Greek god, the warrior, or the superhero look. I think one of them was Hugh Jackman for the warrior, and then the guy from Captain America, I can't remember his name. He was like the superhero. And you picked one of these guys, and it gave you a program, just a simple program. Now I know that's bullshit. But back then, I was like, you have to train a certain way if you want to look like a warrior. So pathetic. But I didn't realize at the time, obviously, that kind of thing probably takes steroids. I wasn't aware of that. I just thought, shit, yeah, shit. Uh, if I want to look like this, I'll do it. And that's why that was an early stage of me probably not really knowing much, and kind of, I probably didn't even really know steroid use. I mean, I heard of it back then, I assume, but I just didn't really know much about it. So, I then did this program, stuck to it very religiously. Then over the next couple of years, understood more about it, and then realized, okay, I need to get more serious here. And then the nutrition started changing bit by bit. But never once was I ever tempted. Eventually, in the years in, I then found out about anabolics, and that most guys were actually on them, and even friends of mine were on them. And I noticed very quickly their progress soar over mine. But I was never ever tempted. And to be honest, peer pressure for me as a young kid never worked. I could never be peer pressured. I was around people taking cigarettes, even some drugs at the time in school, and I never ever was interested to try one, and I never did, because peer pressure wasn't a thing to me. Um, as I got more serious, I learned, okay, I want to do this. I think saying no to drugs so early on, and reaching a level is actually more admirable. Well, it's everyone's personal choice. I would never judge. For me, I wanted to do things. Anything in life I've tried to do, I've never tried to find a shortcut. I've always tried to do it the hardest way. And I think that kind of characteristic, or that approach you take in life, will lead you on better later on. You'll actually be more likely to take on tasks in your life and be more resilient to stick at them, opposed to trying to find the most fastest, quickest way to get there. Um, and you build more quality out of it. So I think halfway through the decade, 5 years in, then I got a wee bit interested in it. But it only lasted for 2 weeks. I was reading up a wee bit on it, and then I quickly went, no. And then I was encouraged to do my first natural bodybuilding show. And then when I started to see the levels of some like the naturals, when I moved out of my comfort zone and got into the community, and I thought to myself, shit, I have room to go. I mean, these guys look like they're taking heaps of drugs. I was like, okay, shit, I have a lot of room to still make more progress on the legs, particularly. So that was my first dabble, and I think it's everyone's personal choice. I never judge anyone taking steroids, but I think if you do start with that framework from the get go, from the beginning, where you want to do things the slow route, you will build a lot more quality from it. And the good thing about that is that if you do decide to take drugs on down the line, if you've truly reached your genetic potential, you'll get that extra edge out of it, right? Opposed to kind of what happens is guys take drugs early and they kind of reach what I would say is their natural potential. But they never really get further than that unless they have to take more and more drugs. And I'm telling you now, like, genetic potential, there's guys out there train 10, 15 years, like I said, and they're still adding on slabs of muscle to the frame. So this whole idea only takes a couple of years is nonsense to reach your genetic potential. So I had that in me. And I was very dedicated to that. And I did. And I did this during my first newborn son I competed in. My second newborn, my third, I did another show. I was very dedicated to this. And I feel that I owe no one anything. You know, I've done my dues in this. I have done prep, grueling natural prep, while having kids, newborn babies, everything. I knew I wanted this. In fact, for fuck's sake, once I choked down chicken and rice blended twice, barfing over a sink once. So I knew that this was something that I want. You know, I'm not pissing around with this. But eventually, life changes and your goals and your desires change. When you reach an objective, sometimes things change and you want something else from it, or you want to focus on other things. And I think right now in my life, my focus is just bringing more service and value to my clients. I do a lot of online coaching, which you can check out, by the way, over the Orcs Den at Instagram. But I do a lot of one-to-one and online coaching. I give those people the knowledge, or stop them making the same mistakes I did early on. From the knowledge that I've gained over the hands-on experience of doing this for over 10 years. And there's still room to go. Still things to do, still new things to learn. There's always new things to learn. There's always new ways to get yourself excited about things. But I'm excited for my next chapter here. I've woke up at 5:30 here this morning to do cardio. I haven't done this since prep. I have no reason to do this, but I just want to do it, right? That's it. I just want to do it. And I just want to engulf myself still in this sport that I wanted to for such a long period of time. And there's still room. And I want to help you as well. That's why I make these videos. And if you have any questions about coaching or help weight loss or muscle training, please drop it in the comments and I'll do my best to answer it. No problem whatsoever. Anyway, if you like the video, please do check the channel. Please do consider subscribing. It does help me out quite considerably. Makes me more motivated to do these. Tons of other topics over in the channel about training, nutrition, just standard old balls. But anyway, I've been Carp from the Orcs Den. Have a great day.